want better for y'all.
I don't think enough people are saying this shit.
These are just our ideas.
Maybe we should all be a little bit more self-aware and a little bit less delusional.
What do we know?
What the fuck could we possibly know?
Hey, look, get your shit together.
But let me stay focused.
All right, and welcome back to the reason they should never gave you niggas microphones. I'm Lil Low.
I'm Bitch Shae.
And this is Let Me Stay Focused, the podcast. Woo! That's the third time you left me hanging. It's been 147 episodes, so I'm going to let it go, but it has happened now 3 times.
Technically, I was just a little late.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going first.
I'm in.
We're usually in sync, though. I mean, I say that to say, since we've been doing the woo, more times we've done it together than apart. With the exception of this one. So, what are you watching?
I've been watching, well, my usual, I watched Abbott, the most recent episode.
I think I'm caught up on the season.
This one?
I think so.
That one, the last episode was funny as well.
Wait, which one was it? I might be lying.
Well, at the time of this recording, I don't know, but the last one I saw was the smoothie one.
Yes. Yo, when Gregory put up that fucking sign and it said, no juices, no peace, and then he turned around and said, please stop. That shit was so funny.
That whole episode was funny, man.
And someone who organizes that type of shit, it was so fucking funny.
I was like, man, that shit. It was funny when the people came down. It was marching down the street, and he was like, "There go the black." And all his students was like,
"Excuse me."
Yeah,
Abbott's so good.
It really is. Man. That's my feel good show.
I've been watching technically nothing, but legally the Broadway production of Wicked on YouTube.
Oh, that's not good. You can take that shit down now.
I mean, I typed in pink and green witch slime tutorial.
That's what came up.
So, with that being said, I don't like going into movies blind, and I needed to know what the fuck was going on. And I do want to see the movie. So, I did need to see the play. And it's a good play. I see why people liked it. A lot.
I have to add that to my list. See a play on Broadway. That's what I want to do.
What's the list of?
Things I want to do.
Is there a deadline or?
No. There's no deadline. There's no, I mean, I guess it's a bucket list, but it's not really a bucket list. It's just things I want to do. And some of them are random and some of them are like, very practical.
Like, I saw The Lion King as a kid.
On Broadway?
Yeah. Well, no, is it Broadway only when it's in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the Broadway production of The Lion King.
Okay.
In Boston.
Okay. Same to me, it's the same thing. It's just not on Broadway. You know what I'm saying? But it's still a Broadway show.
Broadway is interesting because it has like its own set of celebrities and people in drama.
Right. A lot of people who do Broadway first and then, go to Hollywood, like they have a lot of like the training and stuff already.
Ariana Grande is one of them. She was on Broadway as a teenager. She was in 13.
Oh, wow. That's dope.
Yeah. But if anybody asks, I ain't seen Wicked. I'm waiting for the movie to come out. I think it's going to be good.
I think it's going to be good, too. I will see the movie. Gladiator 2 finna come out, too, this week. Well, Gladiator 2 came out last week.
What is Gladiator 2?
The movie with Denzel.
Oh, I've been seeing all this stuff about the premiere, but I don't think I've ever seen
the Gladiator one.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen it either, but hey.
Is he a gladiator?
Yeah. I think so. Well, I've never seen the first one. But yeah, he is a gladiator.
Are you sure it's not Equalizer?
He's playing the Equalizer too. But he played in Gladiator.
What?
Or he's playing in Gladiator 2. I don't know if he was in Gladiator 1.
Gladiator 2. Well, I'll be damned. I don't know what this is about. It says The Last Duel.
I think it's like some Roman shit.
Yeah, he plays Macrinus.
That's true.
Thank you. Well, it's playing at the $5 movies.
Already?
Yeah. Shit, I might go see Wicked at the $5 movies.
Got to.
Because, you know, that movie taking everybody's spouse, but I don't want to get into that.
Don't we?
Can't be married and in Wicked.
I think I agree.
It's Wicked. What's happened to the fucking marriages on that film? Disgusting. But I will be there. And now I know some of the songs. So, what else?
That's good.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is.
I also been watching this show. I know he's about to move on, but my bad. I forgot to add this. This show, I just discovered it today. It's called St. Denis Medical.
Oh my God, that's like the hospital, The Office, right?
Yes. It's
Yeah,
so
I want to watch it. It's good?
It's so funny, man. It's on Peacock.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
You can watch it. And yeah, like you said, it's like, because I was thinking like a comedy medical show. That's what I was going to describe it as. But the office of medical shows is pretty much used that. And it's very like, that shit had me weak, bro. You got to watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna tune
in. But yeah, so you got honorable mention?
I do. And I have Bluesky Social.
Okay, Bluesky.
I just joined Bluesky yesterday. But it does feel like a breath of fresh air. It gives me the feeling of when I first joined Twitter. Like, what is this? What is going on? Where are my people? I'm just kind of going in. I was just like, big shot Shae. And then I followed you. And you had no like posts. I'm like, what's going on?
Right, because I'm like, I was just about to say, I've been intimidated a little bit. I do think it's a breath of fresh air because, well, I haven't really been up there yet, but I will say I haven't seen any, like the short, very, very short times I was up there, I haven't seen fuckery, you know what I'm saying?
Fuckery.
So I was like, okay. And then when I seen you follow me, I was like, okay, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, how I want to, because I don't really want to approach it like my normal social media, you know, like how I normally just, you know, I want to be
You're
intentional.
a public figure now.
Yes, and I want to be like intentional, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not going to make any posts yet until I know what I want to post. But I do think it's dope. I think it's time to leave Twitter and just.
Yeah, if you still like delete your account, don't
I haven't
even
deleted
delete
it yet because I'm like trying to figure out if I'm gonna follow anybody from there on Bluesky, but I'm gonna delete it by the end of this week. I haven't made, and well, I did tweet like over the weekend, but I'm not gonna like, you know, tweet any like content, pictures, or anything like that.
Yeah. And then I also have Mecca and Jamila. They started the Unhinged and Immoral podcast. They're two really popular creators on, I mean, really on a lot of shit. And they've come together. They were friends in college. They started a podcast. And I don't think they need our wishes for luck. They already have like a shit ton of followers before the pod even dropped. But I think today Mecca said that they were like in the 40s on like most listened to new podcasts. So good shit for them.
Mecca and
Jamila. Yeah. And it's called Unhinged and Immoral.
Congrats, y'all.
Congrats to y'all.
So next we have Hotep for the week. And this person, I mean, they've been dragged a lot recently. I feel like there's not really much for me to add on, but Tyler Francis from Love is Blind. So,
oh my gosh. They keep suing Love is Blind. I think they should just stop fucking doing it.
He's suing them now?
No, but I'm saying there's like couples who don't make it to the final cut of each season because they go through like terrible shit. So I'm assuming if he's from Love is Blind, what is this? Some like an allegation of abuse or?
No, remember he's the dude who had those kids. He was a donor to the couple. He had the kids. He went on Love is Blind and told the girl he didn't have no kids.
But he don't got no kids.
He was being a father to them, even though he was like a donor. He was still like in their life. Like he was with the kids before he left.
Oh,
and so
I don't watch it anymore. Once people started suing, hey, I'm getting abused or whatever.
Wait, they was getting abused by who?
A lot of people have been like couples that you are not familiar with because they've been completely.
I don't watch it at all.
No, but I'm saying I don't watch it either. But like, if you did watch it, you still wouldn't know who the fuck they were because they're suing Netflix for putting them in like precarious situations with people who were unsafe, and they like get edited out of the show completely.
Okay.
And you're like married to this
Netflix, I'm starting to like side eye them when it comes to these shows. Now that you mention that, because last week, someone told me that the Ultimatum,
yes,
they're being sued.
Really?
Do you remember the lesbian version?
Yeah.
One of the girls up there is suing them, and she said for I forget what it was, but basically they wouldn't let her leave.
Was it the one with Melinda or was it the Aussie one?
Yeah, it was the one that was with the
Mildred. That's Mildred. What her name was. So Aussie is suing?
No, Mildred. No, Mildred, the one who was with Mildred in real life. Like,
oh yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I forgot their name.
Yeah, I forgot her name. She was on the No Homo podcast.
But Mildred was cooked, remember? And it was like, hey, did Mildred throw a gate at you at the reunion? And Mildred was allowed to like explain or like talk. You shouldn't be able to come on the fucking reunion. We're not going to put you in a room with somebody.
No, I don't even remember that. But yeah.
Yeah, because remember the person that you're talking about, I don't remember their name. But Tiff was their name, right? They walked off the set of the reunion.
Yeah, she's the one that's suing them.
Yeah.
So
well, good for you, Tiff.
I'm like, maybe Netflix just y'all may need to reevaluate how y'all do these couple reality shows.
Yeah.
Because if y'all this is not y'all first time getting sued, like what is going on here? But anyway, yeah. So he's what's up of the week because I feel like he used the kids as like a pawn. Like he weaponized the kids. Like,
oh my God, I forgot about the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so he's like basically was in their kids' lives before Love is Blind, and then after it was like, I don't want anything to do with them. And I just feel like that's just real fucked up.
That is very fucked up. Because it would be one thing if you were a donor and uninvolved, but
right. But you were.
That almost sounds like, well, I have a relationship with the kids, but they're not good for my image. So
right. Well, he was saying he don't want anything to do with like the parents.
Yeah.
And so that's why he's distancing himself from the kids. And he went on a podcast, and I'm gonna just play the clip what the guy said to him.
The kids per se, because again, innocent kids, beautiful kids.
No, but you just said attached to their family. No kids are attached to the family.
I'm just saying, but they come with
it don't
everyone
matter.
else.
I would never prioritize the feelings that I have for a bad relationship over my kids.
Respect.
That's the terrorist. That's just how I operate.
Yep.
I stand on that. I don't care if the mother of my child lied to me, accused me of abuse, tried to broke the windows out my car like Jasmine Sullivan. I'd be like, that woman is crazy.
Yes.
But I'm going to love you, child, and I'm going to show you how to honor and respect. I'm going to honor and respect your mother because that's your mother. But we ain't going to have a relationship, but you're going to watch me honor and respect her.
Absolutely.
And then when that child comes of age, my child will look at me and be like, you know what? Yo, I've never heard you say nothing negative about my mama, and she always says something negative about you. I said, I know.
I was gonna say, that's what I was gonna ask. So you wouldn't be concerned of them running your name when you're not around because
There's a quote in that office. When we get done, you're gonna walk over there. It's a quote God gave me: "Let your character outlive their lie."
What?
I think.
I'm so confused.
Well, basically, he was saying like he left the kids because of the relationship that he has with the parents, and the other guy was telling him like, don't you shouldn't prioritize your feelings with the parents over the kids.
That's tough though, because you're not the parent.
I mean, well, that's the thing though, because
It's like if you stop being friends with somebody, you don't get to still hang out with your friend's kid.
But I don't really know what their parental agreements were though, because I mean he was like a donor, yes, but he was also like their father. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a lesbian couple, and I think when it comes to like the whole kids adoption, surrogacy, donors, all that shit, it can get muddy if the shit is not
sticky.
if it's not like plainly laid out. Like this is what this is what it is. And I feel like if you say, okay, I'm gonna be their father, and then change your mind, like I feel like that's just fucked up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got.
That's awful. There's a lot of awful people going around. Hate to see it. Well, now we have lyrics and lessons where we give a lyric and you get a fucking lesson. I have my lyric and I wrote it down and then I didn't put it in my outline. Again, it's like it's a lifestyle choice, it feels like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Where I keep taking these lyrics and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going to use. And then I don't use it. So, in an effort to mitigate my stalling, I still don't know where I put it.
Yeah.
Damn. It was from Sticky, though.
Which sticky?
It's getting sticky. Oh, here it is. Niggas say I ain't that guy. They must be smoking ketamine. Always talking about potential. Bitch, I am the better me. Jack of all trades. Name a nigga who's ahead of me. And what I got from that was there's people who will never see your growth or your change because they're not like people who constantly update their ideas of who people are in their head. So it's like they meet you, they get to know you, and that's who you are for forever, basically. Yeah. So you need to be aware of who you are, what you believe, and how you've changed because nobody else is going to do it for you.
That's real. Yeah. I can't stand for a motherfucker to have an outdated version of me in their head. But hey.
Life comes at you fast.
Yeah, all I can do is know my damn self. So that's what's up. I like that. And that's by.
Oh, it's from Sticky. Tyler the Creator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm saying for people who didn't know.
Oh,
AKA me. Oh, but yeah, that's dope. All right. Next, I have my lyric is from this song called "Popping Out," and it has mistakes in quotes. I mean, in parentheses.
Mistakes.
And it's by Cherry 22. And the lyric is, crying over bitches ain't allowed. Being a heartbroken bitch is out of style. You know my city ain't seen me in a while. Ain't hate me then, you gonna really hate me now. Cause we popping out tonight. And I feel like the lesson here is just sometimes you gotta pop out and show bitches.
Sometimes you got to. You got to.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just it. And I know it's kind of like oversaturated, like, term that people have been using all year, well, ever since the summertime. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's true.
I agree. Speaking of things we may or may not think is true, I have Let Me Stay Focused, which is the topic of the week.
And I just have a tweet, and it's a conversation that I don't think is new or fresh, but I'm not sure if we've had this specific conversation on the podcast. And I feel like we've been all dealing with a bunch of heavy shit. So why not talk about something fucking dumb? So OG Queenie on Twitter, which I'm not on anymore, has tweeted, if a man says he doesn't want your child and you make the decision on your own to have it, you also made the decision to raise it on your own. He shouldn't be obligated. You didn't consider him when you made the decision. Don't consider him when you dealing with the results of that decision. What are your thoughts?
I agree. If a person plainly tell you, I don't want this kid, I don't want to have a baby with you, I'm not ready.
Oh my God, that sounds just so painful.
I think it could be painful, to hear that and deal with it, but you gotta, what I'm saying, put the pain aside and think about your kid 5 years from now. Is they gonna be, what I'm saying, having what they need? Are you gonna be able to sustain and get there, or what I'm saying, are you gonna be chasing down a nigga for child support for 3 years?
He working under the table, so you can't catch him.
Yeah, like you have to really. I think a lot of people get their judgment just be like
off.
Yeah,
as fuck.
Because a lot of times I see people get baby mama and it's like, damn.
It just seems so awful.
And I know people love their kids and kids are a blessing and everything, but at the same time, it just be like.
I just wish, not necessarily related, I wish people would just realize that regretting your kid doesn't mean you don't love them. Like, and maybe we should find a better way to say that. Like, regretting becoming a parent. It has nothing to do with how much you love your kid. But I think if more people are honest about, like, what that feels like and what that looks like, not just, like, a random regretful parents Reddit thread, people would make different choices.
Yeah.
And in terms of this, he could have also made some choices. Some different choices if he didn't want to have a child.
Yeah. And I think like it's definitely their responsibility too to either use protection or whatever they need to do to not be out here creating kids as well. But I do feel like as a woman, you have the final say.
Yeah.
You have the ultimate choice. So I do think like if somebody says I don't want to have this kid and they may not say it straight up, you have to read between the lines sometimes, because sometimes people are gonna fucking bullshit you. But when it comes to a kid, this ain't no fucking game. You know what I'm saying? It's not a joke. So I feel like yes, you have to be very clear, and if somebody's not being very clear with you, then you should take that as like your sign. Like, okay, well, it's a lot of uncertainty, so I don't want to bring my child into that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Or I do, but if I do, I'm accepting like, oh, I'm going to be doing this by myself.
And I think that, like, let's just put, like, not just the fathers. I feel like I know a lot of women who were convinced by not just the fathers, but, like, the family around them or their friends, because they thought it would be cute to, like, go through with their pregnancy. And then once you have the baby, once the kid's here, everybody else still has a choice of whether or not they want to interact with the baby. Mm-hmm. No matter what they told you they would do, they still have a choice on whether or not to do it. And you don't. And I also think that we don't always talk about the opposite, which is like people will have a kid because this man said he wants to have a kid or something to do with this man.
That's true.
And you end up fucked over.
That's true.
Like, I just don't get, like, do I think that if someone is saying they don't want to raise that child, I wouldn't still have the child. To me, it, because then you're signing your kid up for like that pain, right?
Right.
Of having a father who just didn't want them. Even if you're like, fuck it. Even if you make $1 million a year, even if you want your baby.
Right. They still got to deal with that.
They still have to deal with that.
I don't think I mean, it's a lot of people that never met their father or, never met one of their parents or whatever, and they fine, but at the end of the day, they had to, like, overcome that because you don't just, you know what I'm saying, be born with that fact. I feel like God did kind of make us for a reason, like, certain ways for a reason. Like, we're supposed to have mother and father. Like, that just is what it is. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Parents.
Or, I was just about to say, or two loving, two-parent household. Like, why bring a kid into a one-parent situation if you don't have to? And like you said, I do think some people do say, like, I do want a family, I do want a kid, and then when the kid gets here, it's like they don't want it, or they start acting weird, or they switch up. And I feel like that's shit you have to consider too. What am I gonna do if this nigga switch up on me? Am I gonna be good, or am I gonna, because you have some of those like women that'll hurt the kids because the nigga don't want to be with them.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I despise, because you literally didn't have to have that fucking kid.
Yeah. It gets complicated because my internal like feelings about child support and the way that people evade it are really negative. Like, I think that it's the least you can fucking do, right? But let's say that one of these situations does happen and I don't want a baby, you have the baby anyways. Like, do you get to a couple years later be like, actually, this is fucking hard, and I shouldn't have to do this by myself? Because he's still the child's father on paper, right? Or they're still the child's parent on paper. Do you then go after them for child support? Like,
I think some do. Like, I think some women do get so fed up where it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Something gotta give. And I get it, especially if you're going through hard times and shit. But it's like, damn, you shouldn't even have to do that.
and it doesn't even necessarily seem fair to me.
Right, and it just sucks that you even have to do that.
Like
you gotta go beg somebody to take care of a thing they created, a person they created. It's not just a fucking toy. It's a whole person.
But it's a person I said I don't want nothing to do with that about. And I think also a lot of people think like once the baby gets here,
Shit gonna change.
but they don't account for if they don't ever show up to the fucking hospital or any of the appointments.
Right.
They ain't even go see the fucking baby.
But I do feel like as a person, if you don't want, you don't want no fucking kid, why is you out here doing things that makes kids?
Yeah, I feel like shit happens to me doesn't necessarily feel like a good excuse anymore.
Yeah, it don't. So I do feel like, hey, if a woman want to come after you, I feel like it's gonna take a lot of time and energy. But if she want to do that, I feel like she's well within her right, because if you knew you didn't want to have kids, then you should have a vasectomy or whatever the fuck you got to do. Like, it's no excuse. That way you can say, hey, I don't want no kids. That's not my kid. If you took the proper route or whatever. But for you to just be like, I don't want kids, and then you still out here, busting in bitches, then.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't want kids. Fuck you, I'm going to have the baby anyways. I do think that it's fucked up to then turn around and say, and give me your check. Because I said I don't want to have kids. And if we agree with this woman who's saying, the second this motherfucker says I don't want to have kids, you either need to not have a kid or plan to do it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You made the choice
like
knowing that he wasn't going to be involved.
Yeah.
And then years later.
But my thing is, you can say you don't want to be involved, but that's not how the law works. And I don't disagree. Like, I do feel like if a person say I don't want to be in that child's life, I don't want a kid, you do have to prepare to do it by yourself. But at the same time,
and my thing
lawfully,
is, if you knew that you didn't have the stomach or the belief system or whatever to not have a kid if you get pregnant, everybody should have made different choices.
Yeah, everybody. That's why I'm like this. I'm conflicted because on one hand, I definitely do feel like, hey, you signed up for that. But on the other hand, I feel like we let these niggas off too easy. Cause why is you out here making babies? You can actually go get a vasectomy and get the shit reversed. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. So I think those are conversations that need to be had prior to.
Okay. Do you think that there should, like, not should be, because there shouldn't be, but do you think there's like an age limit where it goes from like, okay, yeah, you should have been taking care of this kid to like, all right, now, come on now, you going to do that? Like, you know what I mean?
I think if they 1 year, I think you should have 1 year until after they start grade school.
So by the time the child's 6? So you mean to tell me I don't want to have that baby? Either you're going to do it by yourself, or even if it's like, I'll pay for you to not. I love my baby. You know how they do. Babies are a blessing. Mm-hmm. We go our separate ways. And 6 years later, I look at my check.
Well, it's not going to just jump to that.
Well, 6 years later, I check my mailbox.
I think the only reason my
because this could be someone who doesn't have any more kids in the next 6 years.
Yeah, my only reasoning for giving, because I'm thinking the best interest of the child. Mm-hmm. Fuck the nigga who said he don't want it. Fuck the bitch who had it anyway. The child's here. Mm-hmm. The child's in school now, and I feel like if it gets to a point where the mom can't handle it, if she got extra responsibilities, like she got to figure out, maybe she got to leave work early because now she got to be home and get the kid. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the circumstances, I feel like that gives you a year to kind of gauge what you need once that kid starts school. And I feel like, I mean, obviously it's gonna change. It's not gonna stay the same, but yeah.
I mean, it's rough, but nobody has advertised single motherhood as something that is easy.
I feel like the kid needs what the kid needs.
Yeah, but you signed up to, oh, yeah, me. I'm going to take care of this kid's needs. Like,
I feel like as a man, you signed up when you didn't use a condom, or even if you did. Like, when you signed up for it when you didn't protect yourself.
I just feel like, I don't know. That I'm going to have it anyway shit is vicious.
Yes, because women who do shit like that, I do feel like there are some women who will literally take care of their baby by themselves, and you know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but they're not who we talking about.
But I feel like they kind of do. Well, they're not who we talking about, but those situations actually do happen. You know what I'm saying? But the other situation where you have the woman that's like using the kid against the man to get more money or whatever. I don't.
Because I think we're talking about in this situation specifically, like, hey, I don't want that kid. I'm gonna have it anyways, because I think that there's also people who fake the funk or half-ass, or there's people who think that a baby will change the situation. Like we said, he'll come around, mm-hmm. And there's even situations where like the person who is pregnant is not feeling it. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, you just got to push through. Once you hold your baby, it'll be amazing. And they still never connect with that child. I
think there are situations where a woman will have the baby and be like, I got this. I don't need that nigga. Yeah. But then some shit happens and they're like, they don't have no other fucking resort. And they like, I got the fucking, you know what I'm saying? I think about those people, whereas like I don't have no other choice or no other option at this moment, and my kid needs what they need. I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, you should be selfish about the shit as far as like the other type of women we was talking about. I just feel like I don't know, man. This shit is murky, and I'm honestly glad I don't got to fucking worry about shit like this. For real, like the shit that straight people be going through, I be like, that shit crazy, and I'm glad it ain't me.
I don't even want to get into. I don't understand how y'all still having like accidents and shit.
Yeah, cause like what? Like I said, niggas, it's 2024. You can go and you can go get that shit clipped and snipped or whatever the fuck. There's no excuse now. There's no excuse with the whole none of the excuses y'all niggas be making. Oh my, she won't let me see my kid, or I told her I ain't want it. Like bro, you're your own person. You're responsible for your decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
She can't have no baby that you ain't put in her. So let's just start there.
I also do still be feeling like let's take the whole I don't want to think out of it. Like Jasmine Cheeves. You knew this nigga wasn't taking care of his triplets with Queen Key.
Right.
Why do you expect us to feel bad for you that he's not
Right.
doing what he's supposed to do?
We don't feel bad for you hoes.
And that's what I'm saying. That's kind of what it feels like. Oh, I don't need him. I'm going to do it by myself. I'm going to show him. And then turn around and talk to people like, this nigga ain't doing shit.
Like, duh, bitch.
Oh, really?
Like, we saw that. How didn't you see that?
He told you out his mouth he wasn't going to do shit. And you done sicked the courts on him? Sucked the courts on them? I don't know.
But also, niggas like that they deserve all that shit too. So I be so conflicted.
It is conflicting because, like, I'm just,
and the kid just there. Like
the kid's got to be here regardless. And that's what I'm saying. It's so fucking irresponsible. Like, I don't think that, because people always act like we hate kids. We actually care about kids a lot and think that they should be protected.
Right.
But y'all are not making good fucking choices. That's really what it is. Because I don't think that in any stretch of the imagination, especially having a father who loved me as much as he fucking did, I would sit here and bring a kid into the world knowing good and damn well that they're going to have to go through, why didn't my father want anything to do with me? And the father may be feeling bad when you're 17 doesn't make up for all of the time that you knew that he didn't want anything to do with you. Right. So it's just like, it's fucking irresponsible for everybody involved. And I think, hold up. Thank you. I think that because we're always like, well, they need to say something. When somebody's a deadbeat, it's like, you could have said something before this. And a motherfucker say something and it's nothing. That's why I'm like, it's bad for everybody.
Yeah.
It's bad for everybody. And I think that, like, honestly, when I think about shit like this, I think about this happening with younger people. Like, I'm thinking like teen moms or like up to 20. And your parents should have told you not to fucking do that. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of the mamas be like, oh, we just don't believe in that. You're just going to have to thug it out. And it's like, okay, but what about the kid? What about the kid?
And
what about your kid? What about the kid they're having?
It's very irresponsible, like you said. Because even some of y'all mamas do be telling y'all, because they went through it, and y'all go and still do the same shit. It's irresponsible either way. Like, if you know you not in a position to take care of your kid by yourself, you don't have the kid.
Don't have the kid.
I just feel like that's period. Even if you if you are with somebody who wants the kid, because like I say, from what I heard, women say a lot. Oh, he switched up after.
They do.
They say
do that,
you know
and that's unacceptable.
And it's not acceptable.
There's no gray area.
You have to cover your ass though. You know what I'm saying? You have to think about the child. Like, you can't think about yourself. You can't think about your emotions. You have to think about your child's emotions and how they are going to feel years from now.
They don't care.
It's crazy though, because I feel like we don't even have kids, and I feel like the shit just be kind of common sense, but it common sense ain't common, I guess. Like, cause we still be having these issues in our community.
Well, that's another open-ended. I guess we don't fucking know. Let me stay focused. From Let Me Stay Focused the podcast.
Yep. Next we have advice from Umar, where we take a no context quote and give valuable life advice.
That nap. This is when you need the wifey. Want to just go crawl up and hold the wifey. Ain't got no wifey though. It's one of them days, a snuggle up day.
That was so cute.
First of all, I was about to say I never heard him talk like that for real, but you know, when he said, you know, this one of them days you want to snuggle, you need the wifey, but I ain't got no wife. I feel like that's very self-aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know your limitations and either accept where you are or figure out what it is you need to do to get what you want. You know what I'm saying? You know you want a wife. You know you want to be cuddled up, laid up. You need to, you know what I'm saying? Be what your wife would need you to be.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then, hey, forget the wife.
No snuggling for you.
No snuggle buddy for you.
I can't stand the rain. Well, this has been another episode of Let Me Stay Focused, the podcast. Don't be a hating ass bitch during the break, and take some family planning classes.
Yes,
Please.
they actually had us take that in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah, y'all need to take it again.
we weren't allowed to talk about abortions though, so and we wasn't allowed to talk about being gay.
Oh yeah, cause you was in mass.
No.
Oh, you was here.
Ham, remember? Homosexuality, abortions, masturbation. We couldn't talk about those three things.
I feel like I remember
It was
talking
called
about all
family
that.
life.
Yeah, I feel like we talked about all that shit though. in my
Yeah, maybe
classes.
us amongst the students.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And we need to, fucking Vince McMahon's wife is in charge of education, so we're all fucked. Have a
Fuck
good
that
week.
bitch.
With the cowboy hat on top. Have a good week, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Peace.
Another episode of Let Me Stay Focused. Don't be a hating ass bitch during the break.
Peace.
Bye.